Hello and welcome to our first recorded take of Infantry and Line Division for Beginners. My name is Whitey, and I'll be the one guiding you on the lovely journey of division templates and explaining what best to use. Please take note, I do not have Trials of Allegiance, nor do I have Götterdruckung. I'm an avid German speaker, as you can tell. Results may vary. Let's begin. As a bit of an aside, I've chosen Honduras for no particular reason. I do have one mod installed, that is to allow me to set things up without having to actually play the game en masse. It would be this over here, we can simply ignore that for the time being. Keeping in mind, I will not be going over doctrines, this is only divisional templates. One of the more often overlooked ones is Port Garrison. Port Garrison will effectively help you protect your shoreline from being invaded by navies. An effective and affordable Port Garrison can be easily achieved with using a combat width of 8, 4 infantry divisions, and a shovel. Their entrenchment will help them fight off attackers, while also giving them enough time to get reinforcements in should it be needed. Next up, we have line defense from miners. This is similar to the port defense, except you have 2 extra infantry divisions. You're going to keep that shovel on there, and you get more entrenchment from having more infantry divisions. The third one on our list will be defense for majors. You're going to have a combat width of 18. It's going to be a 9 block of infantry, still with a shovel. And as you can see, entrenchment has gone up from 3.2 to 3.8. Now, generally, if you're playing a larger nation or a more populous nation, you'll have the manpower and hopefully you'll also have the equipment to supply them. This is not intended to be a single division per tile unit. Your combat width of 18 will normally fit in combat widths of 35 or fairly comfortably in combat widths of 30. You're normally intended to have about 2 to 4 per combat tile. Next, we have line attack for miners. You want to try to keep your organization to a minimum of 30. You don't want it to fall below, as it may render them combat ineffective. What counteracts relatively low org is breakthrough. You can effectively overpower an enemy's defenses if you have enough breakthrough. It won't damage your organization too awfully much, because you'll be attacking through their defenses. And if they're soft, your soft attack will destroy their organization faster than you can burn through yours on the offensive. The line attacker for the majors. Many more infantry. A combat width of 34 with 11 infantry and 4 line artillery. Please keep in mind, you also have line artillery in the support, along with logistics, because this is a very supply-heavy unit. And now we have the multi-roll for minor nations. 8 infantry, 1 line artillery, and a shovel. Keep in mind, your organization would not be as high if you had 8 infantry set on defense. This is not the optimal setup for defending, but it will work in a pinch. And if needed, you can also attack with it. Multi-roll for majors. You have a 9 stack of infantry with 2 line artillery. Your organization is not the best. This will be offset with doctrines. I'm not going to go into doctrines in this particular video, but the organization will increase with doctrinal acquisition. some fairly good defense, some okay breakthrough, and some okay soft attack. This will work in a pinch if needed. If you have the capability, you may also want to put on a field hospital, because you will be attacking with this. However, keep in mind, while you will save losses and experience loss, your organization will go down. It's not a lot, but it could make a difference at times of need. Motorized, mechanized, minor nations, defense. Just a standard 6 block, 6 infantry, combo with a 12, and a shovel. If you can afford it, always try to put a shovel in. Entrenchment is never a bad thing to have whenever you're on the defense. It will eat some of your org, though. Motorized, mechanized, major defense. Another 9 block of infantry with a combat width of 18 and a shovel. Take note, the entrenchment did not increase. I am not 100% sure why that is, but it's always good to have. Motorized, mechanized, minor attack. Much like with the line artillery attack for the miners, you're going to have a 4 block of infantry, 3 line artillery, and a support company of artillery. It is imperative to keep in mind you want the mobile combat support battalions, because those are towed by trucks, and thus your max speed is a 12. Just as a fun tidbit, your maximum speed is dictated by the slowest moving unit you have that's in the combat area. If you don't have any slow units in the combat area, such as a non-towed support artillery, it will not affect your maximum speed. Motorized, mechanized, major attack. And here we have another 34 width block of 11 infantry, 4 line artillery, 1 support artillery, and I heavily suggest logistics company. With the logistics company absent, you will notice the supply use goes up to almost 2. It sits at 1.87. I personally enjoy the logistics company being there, but it is by no means required. Keep in mind, again, as earlier mentioned, your organization will go up as you get more doctrines. Your supply use may also go down depending on which tree you decide to go. Motor Mech Minor Multiroll. 8 more blocks of infantry, 1 line artillery, and an engineer company. Now, due to the fact that this is a multi-roll, which means that you could attack with it, you may see it favorable to include a field hospital as well. Do keep in mind that will hurt your organization overall. An organization is key for not losing units immediately if they go into combat with overwhelming forces stacked against them. Motor Mech Major Multi-Roll. A nice 9 block of infantry with 2 line artillery and a shovel. Combo with a 24. Supply use of 1.1. Fantastic. Hopefully you find these divisional templates to be of some use. Have a wonderful day, and remember, don't get sucked into playing HoI for 1,000 hours.